This is Talking Bullish, your Bradford Bulls fan podcast. We're your hosts, Laura Micklefield and Alan Raisin.
We're back from a visit to Odsal, where we had a double header against two Hull FC sides who both gave us a run for our money, but we'll go through those in a bit. And we've also got a game against Warrington this week, so we'll go through that and lots more besides. But welcome, Laura. Hi.
Hi, Alan. You okay?
Yes, I am. Thank you. We had a lovely day at Odsal, as I say. Well, it started off cold, but then it got really hot, and then towards the end of it was raining. So, pretty typical day.
Yeah, we'd packed for a long day, hadn't we? We thought, well, we'll get there early, we'll watch the women's game and then watch the men's game. Looked at the weather, said cloudy, cold, packed jumpers, coats, all the rest of it. Got there. I get just absolutely tropical. Taking his jumpers off and then back on, off again, back on. It was just tropical 1 minute, freezing the next. But actually went home with a sunburnt face as well. So expected to be absolutely freezing, but it was actually it was nice weather. To be fair, it was a good day. I was glad it wasn't throwing it down and cold like it could have been, especially being there for several hours. But
two great games, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, two very close games as well, and we really enjoyed watching the women's game. Got right into it, and it was nice to hear some of the family of one of the players getting really enthusiastic behind us. So it was good. Really enjoyed it. So we thought, in the spirit of that we'd have a little run through of the women's match as well as the men's match.
So there was a little bit of confusion, I think, about the start time, because we all had different times in our heads, didn't we?
Yeah, it was really bizarre. I'm sure when we talked to Noah, he said it was 12:15, which I thought it was 12:12. Yeah. And then I'm sure it said on the on X just before we got there that it was kicking off at 12:10. So I thought we better get there for 10 past. So we arrived probably about 12 o'clock, didn't we? Just after 12. Just after 12, and the gates weren't open, but they were round the other side. So we kind of went round the other side to get in. Probably got in for about 5 past, 10 past ish, and Hull had already scored a try. So don't know what time it kicked off. We presumed maybe that try came on the first set. So it was 6-0 at the time we got in.
We'll talk about it later in the match, I guess, but they seem to like the kind of dodgy grubber kick from the kickoff, didn't they? Would you call it a grubber? I don't know.
It was. They were just really difficult to take. Every time they kicked off, it just kind of bobbled and went out, so they seemed to get it back. So my assumption, which is totally an assumption because we didn't see it, is they maybe did something similar on that first play. It bobbled out, they got the ball back and got straight over for a try. Like I said, when we got in thinking, is it going to be a whole whitewash? But no, nothing like that at all. It was really hard fought match.
And in fact, they went in at the break 10-10. So, I also thought that it might have been slightly one-way traffic, but no, the girls stayed in it.
Yeah, it were really good. There were some lovely tries, a couple of tries from Paige Taylor and Bailey Alexander. Both went over to, like I say, get that half-time score of 10-10.
And then the second half was a similar story, really. Lots of back and forth. And in fact, it was 20-all right until the last minute, until, unfortunately, the visitors had a break over the line right on the hooter.
Yeah, it was a shame. It was one of those where last minute try as well. And I think we heard from the pitch as well. They were saying when they'd done the conversion that was the end of the match. So we weren't sure how long was left. But the match was over. I feel like if they maybe had another 5 minutes in that match, the Bulls could have pulled it back. But it was really close fought. Another try from Taylor in the second half, and a try from Robinson as well. And massive effort. I thought it was really good. Really enjoyed it. And they were really unlucky not to get the win. It could have gone either way, definitely. It was just that last minute try that was the difference, but I think they could definitely hold their heads high. It was a brilliant performance, and really enjoyed watching it. It's made me definitely want to try and go to watch the other matches. If we can get down to see them at some point, we definitely will.
Yeah, and we should call out Bailey Alexander for a brilliant 60-metre break to score a try. Oh, yeah, scored. Was it between the posts? But she definitely did a flip as she
it was
down.
brilliant. Yeah, an acrobatic finish to it. I mean, we talk about Ethan Ryan's acrobats in the corner, but we got full acrobatics on this one. Yeah, put it down under the sticks and did a little flip to go with it as a celebration. Thought that was really good. So, yeah, that was a beautiful try. We were all getting excited and jumping off our seats for that one. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Thought it was great. And then, it was on to the men's.
So we got off to a perfect start with Nicarima dumping the whole player who collected the kickoff straight into touch. Yeah,
brilliant. Really good effort. Kickoff done, and he would just, like it literally was like a rampaging bull straight into him. And I don't think the whole player really had a chance to register what was going on. It was just, he caught the ball and then he was just pushed into touch and flung the ball away. And I think the poor linesman got a ball to the head as well. It kind of bounced off his head. I felt a bit sorry for him because he was trying to desperately keep it in play. But so we got the ball straight away. Thought, this is really promising looking. And to be fair, we thought we had to try as well because Zach went over for a score, but unfortunately it was pulled back for a forward pass. And in fairness, I think all of us in the crowd did say yes, it was probably a mile forward, but it would have been nice if that were the start, but wasn't to be. And it was 12 minutes when we saw the first points, and it was through a goal kick. So it was a penalty given away by the Bulls, which was kickable for Hull, and they opted to go for the 2. It was strange at this point because obviously we'd only been 12 minutes into the match. I really thought that they'd kind of go for the try, but I think they were thinking that it was going to be a close one and thought every point mattered, so opted for the 2, which was quite respectful to Bradford, I thought.
Yeah, and then Hull nearly get over the line again. Well, in fact, they do get over the line, but with the help of an obstruction. So that goes up as no try and gets confirmed by the video ref. And then we get a penalty for Hull being offside. So we level up with a 2-point kick as well. Yeah,
so 2-2 at this point. We've had 2 tries disallowed, one from either side, and 2 penalty conversions kicked, one either side as well. So 2-2, it was a bit of a strange match, wasn't it, really? But then 25 minutes, Hull pull ahead again after we give away another penalty. And again, they take the 2. So it was one of those we score, you score matches at this point. So they took the 2 to nudge ahead 4-2 at this point.
And then Hallis is taken out late off the ball at 28 minutes. So the kicking tee out again, and we even up the game 4-4.
Yes, again, just really strange. It's just we'll score a penalty, you score a penalty, and then it ended again with 38 minutes just before a couple of minutes before half time. Nicarima is caught late, and this time we take the 2 to pull ahead, and at half time it ends 6 to the Bulls and 4 to Hull. What did you think of that half, Alan?
Well, I don't think I've seen a half quite like it in terms of like lots of scoring through penalties, really. But it was quite nervy, I suppose, because it was, other than the last score of the half, we were always chasing Hull. But we were playing well. Obviously disappointing to get the tries disallowed, but as you say, them's the rules.
Yeah, it was a strange one. Really strange first half. It seemed to go really quick. We said that as well. It seemed to be really fast half. Don't know why, which is strange because there were no tries to watch. There were opportunities, but seemed like a lot of errors kind of and turnovers for both sets, both sides. It wasn't the neatest. It was a bit scrappy and a bit, it wasn't the fastest flowing match, shall we say. But I was just glad to be 2 points ahead at half time. And it was one of those where I didn't really know how we were going to go in the second half. We're just kind of, let's wait and see.
And so 8 minutes into the second half, and there was a really terrible tackle on Aikins. Proper wrestling move, picked up, thrown to the floor, and dumped on his head. And fortunately, the ref sees it our way, and the whole player sees the red card. Yeah,
I mean, it's like he saw red. It was like he were possessed. He kind of goes in for a tackle with looks like a shoulder charge. Our player falls on the floor, and then he just kind of launches at him, picks him up, and just throws him on the floor, like basically smashing his shoulders and head into the floor. I'm guessing most people listening will have seen the replays by now, and I think over the whole of rugby league who've watched that replay, they've just said, I don't know what was going through the whole player's head. Absolute brain explosion doing that. It must have just been a rush of anger or something upset him. I don't know, but he's facing quite a lengthy ban for that as well. I think did he get 4 matches for it?
I haven't seen, but I did see actually the Saints Twitter account was posting it as well, so it's spread across the league. But it wasn't the first time that we thought there was some violent conduct. Actually, we haven't got it in the notes, but
no, it was a certain player. I'm not sure what his name was, but one of the Hull players. It just seems to be always going head high and swinging the arm all the time, and it just seems to be getting away with it. But then it was penalised. It kept happening and kept happening. So I think when this happened, you could probably hear, if anyone was watching it on the telly and wasn't there, the Bulls fans I think were pretty fed up at this point, and were pretty pleased when we saw the red card. And I think any rugby league fan who watches, I know someone was laughing the other day saying that one of the comments is always game's gone soft, and that was one on that. But no, I think we all agree that there's no place in that for rugby league. If he wants to take up wrestling in WWE where it's choreographed and you make sure no one gets hurt, it'd be all right. But this was just full on throw you on the floor, and just glad that Akins is okay, to be fair, because it could have ended really nastily. I'm probably thinking the whole player really regrets it now, and maybe it was just a total moment of anger, but surely there's not really a place for that. No. It was a terrible tackle.
Anyway, it took us another 9 minutes to finally break the deadlock, though. We had a great break on the left, and Fulton races through, passes to Waka, who scores on his return from injury.
Yeah, unfortunate that the kick was wide because it was a chance to go 2 scores ahead there. But brilliant try, and it was nice to break the deadlock, and it was nice to be the first ones to score the try of the match.
Yes.
Yes, it was lovely. Really enjoyed that one. Let's say a nice break, and Blake making an impact straight away, returning from injury and scoring a try back to his good old ways. So we've missed him, and I'm glad he's back. And then, 64 minutes, so 7 minutes later, and Hull got down after a grubber through from Hardacre, and the try was converted to level the scores. Bit of an unlucky one, I think, with this. The actual play that led up to it from Hull was really scruffy. They were the ball was going to ground, they were passing it around a bit, and then I think it was just a bit of an opportunistic one. Hardacre just dots a little one through, and there's a chaser that manages to get it down. I don't think anyone were really expecting that play. Probably not the Hull players either, but they reacted quickest and got the try, which is unfortunate. And obviously, because they got the conversion, it was 10-10 at that point. So following a similar pattern to the first half, where it's like you score, we score, but this time it was with tries.
Yeah. 65 minutes in, there's massive push on defence as Hull man is forced back over his line, so we get a goal line dropout, and then 2 minutes later we take advantage of that field position with Ryan scoring one of his trademark finishes in the corner, and Atkin nails the touchline conversion.
Yeah, brilliant, that one. Just trademark Ethan Ryan again, and there were lots of replays of it, and it was one of his finest acrobatic finishes. I know we keep mentioning him all the time, but it was a particularly brilliant try. Felt really sorry for him because he took a knee to the head on the way down, totally accidental, but apparently he doesn't remember scoring the try.
Yeah, so that's a bit concerning, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. So I hope he's okay. I know in the post-match conference, Kurt said that he did fail his HIA, so unfortunately it doesn't look like we'll see him playing against Warrington, but obviously better safe than sorry with that. But yeah, really unfortunate that you score like an absolutely brilliant try and can't even remember that you scored it, but at least you'll get to watch it back because there's plenty of replays I've seen all over social media anyway. So yeah, it took it to 16-10. I thought that was a really critical point of the game, like getting that conversion as well.
Oh yes.
Because I was thinking to myself, if we'd have missed that conversion, I feel like we'd have been feeling a little bit more nervy at this point. I mean, we still were. We were getting a bit edge of our seat at this point. So it's just about 15 minutes to go at this point, and we're thinking, right, have we done enough to win?
Yeah, so we are a score ahead, but 74 minutes in, we try for the drop goal to seal the game, but unfortunately it's just wide. But not that it was very obvious, because they did a few replays, and to us, well, I couldn't tell which side of the post it was.
Yeah, it was strange because obviously where we're sat on the stand, and it looked like it had gone over, but it's too fast to tell as well, and it was hard to know which side of the post it went, and I don't think they were too sure either, because I think Atkin kind of celebrated like he'd scored it. The referee wasn't sure, so obviously went up to see from the video ref. And then I did actually watch the replay from the video ref, like online afterwards, and you see when they zoom in and they're obviously talking over it, that you can see the ball shape like the full way, like past the post.
Right.
So that's how they knew it went on the outside rather than the inside. So I don't think it was far off, but yeah, unfortunately wide. So yeah, it was a tense, nervous 6 minutes, wasn't it? To wait towards the end of the match. We were literally kind of edge of the seats at this point.
Yeah, and in fact, Hull do score a try after having several sets on our line. They finally get over right in the corner, fortunately. So, yeah, the kick hits the post, and a massive cheer erupts around Odsal.
Yeah, it was definitely a nervous thing of that. They're doing everything to try and put him off that kick, and it was literally a post width difference, and it could have bounced in, but it bounced out. So we're obviously 16-14 at this point, and it was a nervous last 3 minutes. Then Hull were trying, and they did like a desperate kick and chase at the end, and I thought just somebody get hold of it. And luckily I think Hooley just pounced on it, went onto the floor like, that's it, you're not having it back, and the full-time hooter went, thankfully. So we got the win, 16-14.
Yeah, so great. So really tense match. Maybe not so good for the heart, but really good for the neutral, perhaps. Well,
it's one of those where I actually got back from the match, and then looking online, so many people were like, this was such a boring match. It was awful to watch. Yeah. They thought it was really poor quality. They thought it was rubbish. And I was a bit like, maybe it's because we were there and you're in the atmosphere of it, and obviously we're not a neutral, that we've got an investment in it, that we actually, well, I quite enjoyed it. Yeah. But from a neutral's perspective, apparently they didn't enjoy it. They thought it was a really poor quality match. So but we enjoyed it, and that's all that matters. And we got the win. Nice to get the win after the losing streak that we've been on, to get back to winning ways, and to do it in that fashion. Yes, like we say, not the prettiest of wins, but a win is a win, and nice to get the 2 points.
Yeah, I think we were due a win. We have faced some very tough opposition, and I did think you could tell the difference between Hull FC and Hull KR that we last saw. Yeah,
definitely. There is a gap, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, you even struggled against a 12-man team as well, because you had like most a second half without. I saw a lot of these comments as well, but like I've always said, you find that when somebody goes down to 12, they actually do step it up, and a lot of those teams, if you look back, either get close to winning or do win the matches, because they kind of have to work harder, and you have to cover that gap. So it's kind of like you up intensity a gear. So whether it was 12 or 13, and it deserved to be 12, because obviously it was it was a horrendous tackle. It was well fought win from the Bulls.
And so we move into 10th place on 8 points above York and Cass. Yeah, drawing on points with Hull FC as well, but we've got a worse points differential.
Yeah. So 10th, I think I said at the end of the match, if that's how the season ended, I'd be pretty pleased with that. We were saying we'd just be grateful not to finish bottom. So having 4 teams below us is looking pretty good. But obviously there's a long way to go in the season. There's still a lot of tough opposition, and let's see what we can do. But yeah, nice to be getting into the more the mid-table than the bottom is how I'm going to say.
Doro was chosen as the man of the match. Actually, I thought I noticed him playing really well in every tackle and drive. So yeah, I thought he deserved that one.
Yeah, well deserved. It was really good to see him back. It was great to see all the ones that had been off coming back, and I think Doro made a massive impact, as did Nicarima, who was chosen by Sky as their man of the match, and again, well deserved. I thought he played really well as well, and it was nice to have a kind of recognised first choice half back as well. So yeah, both worthy man of the matches.
But unfortunately, Nicarima did pick up a minor calf injury, we think. As you say, Ethan Ryan failed his HIA and will miss the game against Warrington.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see against Warrington what the squad is, because I was thinking with Ryan obviously failing his HIA, it might be an opportunity for Wynn to come back in. And with Nicarima, with this calf injury, I don't know if it's bad enough that he's going to miss next week or he's going to be in. So it'll be interesting to see what the 20-man squad it says. But obviously it's not out at the time of the recording, so we'll have to wait and see.
And in other results, unfortunately, the wheelchair team suffered 114-12 defeat to the London Roosters.
Yeah, I know when we spoke to the wheelchair team, I think they said that the London Roosters were one of the kind of flagship teams of wheelchair rugby. So I think they are, ones to beat. And that scoreline probably shows that as well. But good that they didn't get nailed. Got a couple of tries there. So, good for them. And we definitely will be getting down to watch one of those home matches at some point.
Yes, we will. So, in the news...
Oh, big news this week, Alan.
Who fancies going to Vegas?
I know. Well, I'd absolutely love to go to Vegas, but I don't think my bank balance will let me go to Vegas, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, we could say who saw this coming, but there were a lot of rumours around it. So were you surprised with the announcement?
Yeah, I mean, given that this year we saw Hull KR versus Leeds Rhinos, I think Bradford versus Lee isn't quite the same level. Yeah,
it's strange because I saw a tweet actually from I think it was one of the journalists saying that it was only in, was it 2017? I might be wrong, but they said that that was a championship match with like 4,000 there. So it's crazy to think that this is now a Super League match that's going to be happening in Vegas. But having said that, going through the championship years with the Bradford Bulls, the Bradford Lee rivalry was brilliant. It was really good, and we always enjoyed watching it. And it was always one that we kind of we look forward to and wondered who was going to win it. So it's kind of nice that they're trying to reignite that back in Super League now. And I kind of like that they're going with the whole War of the Roses thing. I think that's a nice thing to go for, especially doing it over in America as well, because it's obviously something that the Americans will think, oh, I know what that is. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. Would I love to go and watch it in Vegas? Yes, of course I would. But like I say, I don't think my bank balance will stretch to that.
So the team seem to be encouraging fans not to buy their plane tickets yet. So they expect some announcements in the near future, I guess.
Yeah, I saw that Jason had put a statement out basically saying hold on for now. And there's a link to interest, put down if you're interested in going. And then you can kind of specify like what kind of packages you want and if you'd stay in like a certain star hotel and things like that. So they're obviously gauging what fans are thinking. And it looks like they're going to obviously try and put something on to get as many fans over there as they can. So, my partner did say to me, if it's less than 50 quid, I can go. So you never know. So if any of the Bulls team are listening there, if you want some unofficial media going for 50 quid, I'll be there.
Yeah, I could probably stretch to 50 quid as well. So I think that sounds like a good deal to me.
We'd love to be obviously bringing you a podcast from Vegas, but I don't think that will be happening, unfortunately. But yeah, brilliant. It's only good for the club. I mean, people, there's always going to be negativity around it, and I've read a lot of it, and people think, oh, it's ridiculous that Bradford are going there in Championship last year, all this sort of stuff. But on the other hand, they put in a bid to do it. They've said that they give up a home match for that fixture as well, and apparently that's the thing that's kind of got Bradford into the mix to do that. And good on them. Like it's really good. Like, the club is just going in a really good direction, and it just feels secure for a change. And after all the years of heartache for Bulls fans, then I think we deserve a little something to cheer about, and why not get people going over to Vegas and enjoying it. They absolutely took over when we used to do the summer bashes in Blackpool, so just bigger scale, isn't it? Blackpool to Vegas.
Yeah. And to be fair, I guess the KR Rhinos game this year was pretty one-sided, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And look, who knows? Let's see what kind of squad we've got next year. We might be quite competitive. I mean, Lee haven't been the best performing this season either. We've not played each other yet. If we can get the rivalry going from this year and then obviously carry it on into next year, I think all the people, I think that's what the journalist who'd put the post out about those 4,000 fans that were there on that match, they said, I hope you really go and enjoy it in Vegas, because it's like you went to go see it there whilst they were in the championship. Really enjoy your time watching it in Vegas.
Yeah, brilliant. And also we have a new signing, a guy called Riley Dean, who we don't know too much about, do we?
Yeah, so this were a bit of a surprise one. Didn't expect anything. I saw a little pop-up on my phone there saying announcement at 3:00. Oh, very good. So Riley Dean. So I thought I'd heard his name before, and it might have been from a few years ago, because it said that he did originally play for Warrington. So I don't know if I've maybe seen him play for Warrington a fair few years back, but he's, I think, since been in championship pretty much, and it looked like he got a contract with Warrington and then went to try playing down under for a bit, and then came back up and has been with Oldham, but all I have seen is positivity about it. Everyone thinks this is a really good acquisition. I think the Oldham fans are absolutely gutted to have lost him, but think that he really deserves an opportunity in Super League. So it sounds really positive, and like I said, don't know much about him, but really glad to have him on board at the Bulls, and sounds like someone who's going to make a real difference. It sounds like the injuries to Milnes and Keys are quite long term, so it looks like a really good option to get a kind of recognised halfback in, especially someone of high quality that's been performing really well in the championship.
Brilliant. So we look forward to seeing him play, and we will do possibly in Warrington this week.
Yeah, hopefully we will. Full circle for him, starting in Warrington and then getting his debut for the Bulls against Warrington. It'd be quite poetic for him, wouldn't it? So let's hope we see him there. So what are we thinking about Warrington then?
So it's going to be a tough one. They're sitting third in the table with 8 out of 10 wins so far. So, they've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're in good form. They've got 8 out of 10 wins, like you said, in Super League. I know they did lose in the Challenge Cup to Hull KR. That was 32-12 to Hull KR. But if you just look at Super League, it does look like, it's going to be a tough one. It's a tough ask. I think they're pretty in form. And in fairness, Toulouse gave them a game last time, competing with them. Final score of 16-24. But we've got to remember that was in Toulouse. And we haven't really been travelling well from home, as we are yet to get our first away win.
Oh, indeed, yes. So let me bring up my spreadsheet of our predictions. And so from last week, the Hull FC game, obviously, as we know, finished 16-14 to the Bulls. I predicted 28-20 and you predicted 20-18. So we both predicted wins, so that's good. However, you ended up scoring 16 points to my 10, which takes you, lets you pull away a bit. You're on 123 points for the season. I am on 116. So for this week, yes, Warrington.
Time for you to pull it back then, Alan, isn't it?
Maybe. Well.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this just before we were recording, and I know I've been quite positive with things lately, and I do think we'll play quite well. Like I say, we've got some bodies back. I think we'll compete. But I do think Warrington will be too strong. I think that with our away form currently and their form, it's not going to be a win for the Bulls, unfortunately. But I do think we will be in it. So I am going to go for 24 to Warrington and 12 to the Bulls.
Okay, that's not too bad, not too shabby. But I think I'm going to go for more points scored. I'm going to say 30 points to Warrington and 14 to the Bulls.
Right, interesting. Let's see how we get on then. Obviously, we never like predicting losses, and I suppose we should be more positive, but we like to be realistic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even in a lot of these losses, I know it was strange because I saw someone post the other day, which I totally agreed with, saying they'd never felt more positive about the club, even though we'd had 5 losses in a row. And I totally get that sentiment. Like the club's going in a good direction, and even though we're not winning all the matches, we're playing really well and we're building something that is similar to what Noah was kind of alluding to with the women's team last week. It feels similar with the men's team as well. It's like we're on an upward trajectory, even though you don't always get the wins. So hoping for another solid performance against Warrington this week. So yeah, speaking of Warrington, we've also got the reserves playing Warrington at 12:30 on Sunday, just before the first team men's match. And we've also got the Elite Academy for the Bulls in action on Wednesday evening against Hull KR. So good luck to them, and hope those teams get the results as well.
And that just leaves us to go to Bull or No Bull, where, of course, this week I have used AI to generate 2 facts and 1 lie about the Warrington Wolves. Okay, so my first statement is that Warrington were the first rugby league club in the world to introduce the full heritage numbers for every single player that has played for them. The second statement is that Warrington are the only club to have played in every single top flight season since rugby league split from rugby union in 1895. And finally, my third statement is that Warrington Stadium was temporarily renamed in honour of Stephen Hendry winning the snooker World Championships in 1998.
Okay. All interesting. None of them I know if they're actually factual or not, so it's going to be guesses. So the first one was about the heritage numbers, so that's quite interesting, and they are a pretty old club as well, so it could be true. The one about the stadium being renamed, I can believe that they do something like that, because I know they recently did it for Luke Littler, but it's whether that you're using that and just changing it. But the fact that they've done it before makes me believe that maybe they could do it again. And the always being in the top flight again, pretty believable. I've never known them in a lower league. Obviously, I've probably not been alive long enough to know since they split from rugby union. But yeah, so a tough one. Right, I'm gonna go for the heritage numbers. I feel like there'd be kind of older clubs that would have done that first, but could be totally wrong. So I'm going to go for that as the Bull statement.
Unfortunately, it is incorrect. No, Warrington were indeed the first rugby league club to introduce heritage numbers.
Oh, that's interesting. That, yeah.
A guy called Fair Barber was player number 1. He was the captain against Hunslet in the inaugural rugby league match. Believe that?
Oh,
Hunslet.
very good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, they are the only club apparently to have played in every single top flight season. And as you say, they did rename their stadium, the Luke Littler Stadium, after the darts champion for one match apparently. Yep. So I just used that and changed it to be another sport and another person. So that never happened.
That's why I thought you're either tricking me or it's like I thought, well, they've done it once, so maybe they've done it before. But yeah, no, that's it's interesting. I'm enjoying the Bull or No Bulls because we're learning all sorts of facts about all sorts of different teams. This may be talking bullish, but you know, rugby league knowledge in general is just expanding with this game, Alan. So yeah,
very good. Yeah. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Talking Bullish. Make sure you check out our website at talkingbullish.fm, where you can find links to all our social media and links to podcast platforms and YouTube, where you can subscribe and like and share with all your friends.
Yeah, and as always, thank you to all our listeners, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel or listen on our other platforms, and please keep listening, and as always, comment. Let us know if there's anything you want to ask us. Feel free to correct us on our facts if you think we're getting them wrong. I don't mind that as well. And just a big thank you to everyone still listening, and hope you're enjoying it, and hopefully there'll be some more specials to come in the future as well.
And make sure you drop your score predictions in the comments as well, so we can see them. We like to see those. But until Sunday, keep running with the Bulls.
We'll see you next week.